So today I'm gonna improvise a drowned farm, which means tridents, rotten flesh, nautilus shells, and copper. But there's gonna be some changes towards the end that make it even better. So make sure you stick around. So let's get to it.
Got this big ocean here, so we're gonna build a drowned farm. Got a request for one. Shout out to FNS Python. I don't know what the FNS, if it's supposed to be an acronym or am I supposed to pronounce it like finesse Python? You're slick. I don't know, but shout out to you, man. We're gonna try to do this. It's gonna be a similar design you might have seen in other places, but with an upgrade. I can never just copy somebody else's design. I got to do my own thing with it. So we're gonna start with the AFK spot plus the bottom of the Trident killer. Two, three, four, five, six, seven, 8. Up. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Up. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we got to fill that in. Okay, so this is the inverted pyramid that you would use for a drowned farm. Right here, right on this level, that's 24 blocks away from our AFK area down there. So this is the first spot, or the closest spot to the AFK area where drowned would spawn. Now each level it goes up, it's actually 2 blocks because it's up 1 and over 1. So that's 20, it's 25, 26, 26 or 27, 20, 27, 28, 29, 30. like that. It's up 2 every time. The 24, 26, 28, 30, 32, 34, 36, 38, 40, 42, 44. I'm on simulation distance 4, so hostile mobs, or all mobs, spawn anywhere from 24 to 44 blocks away from wherever I am. So when I'm down in the AFK spot, then from the top of that chute up to here, all in this entire area, that's where drown can potentially spawn. But this is just a half of it. So I've got this outside wall here because we're going to place water actually on top of it. It's going to flow over. Actually, don't need it too high. Just need it 1 high. We'll put the water on top of this, and it's going to flow down towards the center. We're going to put some buttons down in that top part of that hole so the water won't flow down. Once they get over that hole, they'll just fall straight down. But this is just half of it. We now got to go back down this way to get some more spawning area, which is what our big platform is down there. Anything that spawns on that side of it is going to fall on the platform and then get pushed in the kill chamber that way. So we're going to increase our spawning area that way. There it is. So this is all tinted glass on top. You don't have to use tinted glass. You can use leaves if you want. I just think the tinted glass looks better. But it takes a lot longer to get the resources you need to use tinted glass. I had to go through, I think 4 or 5 geodes, and I think 2 very long AFK sessions. Basically just AFKing between 2 geodes that were close together, and then come back several hours later after all the amethyst buds had full grown, and then take my Fortune 3 pickaxe to them and get a bunch of amethyst shards. I had to do that AFK session twice to get the shards I needed for this. Plus all the glass. The glass I either bought from librarians or I smelted down a bunch of sand. So it's very resource intensive to use tinted glass. So if you'd rather use leaves, that works. Just get either a silk touch hoe or some shears, and you go running around any trees and just start shearing off leaves. You're gonna need a lot of them. I finally finished the drowned farm that was requested. I ran it for, you can see they're building up in here. I'm not running the killer right now. So the point of getting tridents is so you can build a trident killer. I went ahead and installed everything I needed for a trident killer in this one. And then once I got a trident, threw it in there. You can just kill them manually if you don't have a trident. So just open that trap door up and start swinging. And just do that until you get a trident. But I ran it for 15 minutes, and that's what I got. As you can just see, I have powdered snow right there. So that's the ones that fall from the inverted pyramid up there. They fall through the powdered snow. It slows their fall and cancels out the fall damage. So they won't fall on impact. They won't die on impact. That way your trident killer does the killing.
All right, so I'm going to go over this build in creative to try to make sure that this is as helpful to you as possible. I'll go over all of the specific details. If these creative fly runs are helpful to you, or if they're not, let me know in the comments. I'll absolutely take that into consideration. And also subscribe. It's over there somewhere. And we can keep this conversation going to make sure that this is as helpful to you as possible. Make sure that these creative fly arounds, or just the way that I put these videos together, are as helpful to you as possible. Let's talk about it. Get it in the comments, and subscribe to make sure you always know when videos come up. Or if you really want to have a direct conversation with me, support me on Patreon. The link is in the description. You get access to my Discord server, so we can just talk back and forth to each other all day long, and really refine this process and get it to you the best way possible. But for right now, let's get to the creative fly around. Okay, so we're in a creative copy of the world. I'm in spectator mode, so I can just kind of fly around the build and go over the details of it a little better. I tend to improvise the build in survival and make those last minute changes that kind of popped up there. It happens a lot, so I just want to break it down for you a little more specifically here. You can see the build here. It's kind of an almost pyramid. I didn't get it all the way as low as I originally intended, because by the time I got it down to the height that it's at now, I was starting to lose my sanity a little bit. So I decided to stop it there. So we'll start down here where I started the build, which is where the bottom of the Trident killer is, and it's apparently I left it running. I can't change it in spectator mode. That's all right. So all the collection happens down here. Any of the drops get put into these chests. It's standard Trident killer, so that's where all the action happens, right in there. Got the kill chamber right here, the chute, the drop chute right there. Okay, so we're inside of the structure now. You can see some drowned or spawning. So it's possible for them to spawn along the outer wall here where this water is falling. Drowned spawn in a drown in water, but it has to be at least 2 blocks high. It doesn't have to be all water source blocks. It's just any water flowing or source blocks. And as long as it's 2 blocks high, they'll spawn in it. So this is actually more than that. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, about 4 or 5 blocks high here. I think 5 blocks high. So they can spawn anywhere along here, and then they still get pushed out this way towards the center into the kill chamber. That's just inside of it. But we also have out here all this kind of staircase upward here. They can spawn anywhere along here, as well as inside of here. You can see I have it too high, so they can spawn here, here, or here. And same thing goes for going back down towards the center. They can spawn along anywhere along this little kind of staircase type of setup. The ones that spawn on the inside of this inverted pyramid here fall into this hole, taking them down into the kill chamber. And you can see here the ones that spawn on the outside get pushed towards this part of the kill chamber, and then they fall down through the powdered snow, which negates the fall damage, and then they land in the middle down there. I guess because I'm in spectator mode, it's not killing them, but it will take them out if you're in survival. So, and then their drops get picked up by the collection system. So as I explained before, I use tinted glass to block out the light. You can use leaves if you want, and leaves honestly are probably a lot easier to get a hold of in a large quantity. Tinted glass is very resource intensive. I just think it looks better, and to me it was worth it. If it's not worth it to you, you just want to get this thing functioning, use some leaves, and as I mentioned before, shears or a silk touch hoe will get the leaves for you quickly. Pile them up and lay them on. But as you can see, it's a lot of area to cover, so you're gonna need a lot of leaves. You probably noticed at some point that I took out these corner pieces right here. I wasn't thinking when I built it, but I was thinking the water would flow off the corners. It's not going to. I think I showed it in there. It ends up just flowing off to that side, and then again off to that side, but it leaves this space untouched, so I just got rid of all that. build it like that in the first place, and you don't have to waste time tearing it down. We got these torches along the deep slate here. That's just to make sure that hostile mobs don't spawn on top of the farm. You don't want them taking up the mob cap, so spawn proof it. I use torches just because it doesn't take as many resources, but you can use slabs or carpet, any non-full block put on top of that deep slate, and only on top of the deep slate, and that'll spawn proof it for you. But just a big important part here is to make sure you block out the light on top of this, but you don't prevent sky access. You need the drowns are surface spawns, which means they only spawn on blocks that have access to the sky. So if you put any solid block between the spawning surface and the sky, they're not going to spawn. So make sure you use something that blocks light but does not prevent sky access, which means tinted glass or leaves. That's really your only options.
Electric Warlock.